So Ian Carroll recently had his latest podcast episode that dropped. And a lot of people, including myself, have been wondering, where's he going to side on this Nick Fuentes feud, right? I believe Ian Carroll to be somebody very valuable to political discourse. I know he's not really on the right or the left. People identify him more on the right these days, but he's really in the middle. He does a lot, right? He talks about conspiracies. He talks about who runs our food, Big Pharma. He talks about that, all this stuff. But he weighed on the Nick Fuentes feud, the feud with Candace, Owens, and Tucker Carlson. And, man, I really think this was valuable, truthfully. I think it was a valuable piece of information. And he weighs in on it, and I'm just going to play the video for you, so here we go.
Honestly, I used to fall more on Tucker's side of this debate than on Nick's. I used to share Tucker's perspective that Nick was rash and toxic and went about talking about these things in ways that were too extreme and too racial and would delegitimize the conversation. And there is an argument to be made that Nick has changed his tune over the last year or two as he has grown up and gotten more skilled and more mature and maybe just changed his strategy a little bit. Nick certainly did used to be more rebellious and flippant and dismissive and just, young. And that's fine. Nick actually talked about that in this live stream. But as the genocide in Gaza has gone on over the last 2 years, and we've seen the Israeli faction's mask come off more and more, it's become more and more obvious how right Nick is in a lot of ways. Not all Jewish people support Israel, but all Jewish people who support Israel support it because they are Jewish.
Wow. I never thought I would hear Ian Carroll say that in 2025. And it goes to show you, man, Nick Fuentes, I'm going to keep speaking this guy's praises. I'm sorry that if you think this is annoying, I'm covering it too much. I simply don't care. I cover the things that are interesting. And this phenomenon is so interesting to me. It is so fascinating to watch this political movement, the Groyper movement, who I identify with a lot of the ideas. I don't know if I consider myself a Groyper, potentially. But to hear Ian Carroll say the things that Nick Fuentes has been saying. I started watching Nick's live streams in March. Started to get really red-pilled around December of this past year. And started to see his shorts, all of that. Started watching his 5, 6, 7-minute clips on X. And then one day I thought, all right, let's do it. So I looked up where to find it, went on Rumble, boom, watched the live stream. I got hooked. This guy Nick Fuentes is the best political commentator of our generation, and he's probably the best one right now currently. Nobody provides in-depth analysis of all of these different political events, war in Iran specifically. The best political coverage I saw across all the different platforms, all the different shows. He was spot on. He knows everything. He is so knowledgeable, so intelligent, so fascinating to listen to. He's very entertaining as well. His monologues are spot on. But hearing Ian Carroll report or repeat a Nick Fuentes talking point, and it's rightfully so. I mean, we have to question everything. It's not hateful to say that, what he said. And that's what Nick said. His movement, the Groyper movement, is not a hateful movement. Not a violent movement. But it's fascinating. And it's true. We should question this. We should question why so many American Jewish people, just say it out loud, have Israel ahead of America. You listen to Ben Shapiro, and Ben Shapiro says the reason he supports America is because America supports Israel. Ben Shapiro is Israel first, not America first. And again, it's not the majority of Jewish people. I believe most Jewish people to be good people. I know Jewish people in my life. I have Jewish clients. They're good people. This is not to attack Jewish people just as they are. But there is something about these prominent media figures who happen to be Jewish that have an allegiance to Israel over America. This is real, and this is problematic. Because when you have people like Ben Shapiro, once again, that say Palestinians are dogs and they're subhuman and they all deserve to be, for lack of a better term, subdued to all this violence, it's not right. I mean, it is a genocide. This is something that's publicly known. A bunch of different governments and a bunch of different countries have recognized Palestine as a state and said, like, this is not right. What you're doing is not right. And so to hear these talking points once again from somebody other than Nick Fuentes, somebody Ian Carroll, who is a rising star in the political commentary space, it's refreshing. And we're going to see more of it. More people are waking up. More people are getting red-pilled. And more importantly, we're all seeing what's happening in Gaza. Not to go back to that point, but like we're literally seeing on our timeline. This isn't 20 years ago where we're seeing the war in Iraq, and well, we're not seeing the war in Iraq, rather. And we're not seeing all the catastrophe that's being caused and all the damage that's being done. And our government is complicit in it. That's what's so infuriating. And so hopefully, somehow it can all be put to an end. But people are going to continue to speak up, man. And so you can say what you want. You can say it's anti-Semitic, but like this is not going away. More and more people are waking up, including American Jews, are waking up saying like, hey, what Israel's doing is not right. And you're seeing more and more of this. You're seeing rabbis on the streets that are protesting this, saying, hey, this isn't right. And they're right. That's it. Well, yeah, that's all. It's obviously been an absolute pleasure. Shad wanted to be here, but circumstances with him allowed him not to be here, so it's a solo episode. But man, just want to thank you guys for all the support. Obviously, give the video a like, a comment, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate your support here. I'm trying to make very informative and entertaining content at the same time, and just very grateful for all the support. Nothing else to say really, but we'll see you next time.